Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here tonight to honor our esteemed city manager, former city manager, friend Tom Higgins. We're glad to be here. I always admired him. I looked up to him. I mean, I was in the sewer department. What else are you going to do?
It was dedicated to Tom, right?
Of course it was.
When you think of Tom Higgins, what's the first thought that comes to your mind?
Handsome.
Handsome! What's the second thought that comes to your mind?
Scary.
Handsome and scary.
Handsome
And scary. Which
together.
seems like a conundrum.
No, Dave, it goes together like marriage and anger. Would you mind singing it for us now?
I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, you in for a treat. Singing the handsome and strange. Scary. Even better. The one and only blind stinky fruit roll. Here we go. All right.
It goes a little something like this. If you try to meet a man, you're looking for one who has a nice looking face that won't make you run. But there's one thing you don't want on your mind, is someone who's handsome but then scary a portion of the time. I got the blues.
Got the blues.
I've got the blues.
Got the blues.
I got the handsome and scary blues.
Oh, that's right. Come on, Stinky. Next verse. Here we go.
If you find someone like that, the relationship will work out in no time flat. You can stay right there with them in that place, as long as you remember they're handsome and don't look at their face.
Okay.
I got the blues.
Got the blues.
I got the blues.
Got the blues.
I got the handsome and scary blues.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest harmonica solo of all time. Here we go. Oh yes. There we go. That's it. You got to play it.
Handsome and scary don't matter if you're good at your job. And when it comes to that, you know Tom, he ain't no slob. I know he's good at his job, it's easy to see. Because if he wasn't good at his job, he'd be working over in Big D.
Oh!
Handsome and scary.
Oh my goodness, the gloves
Let
are
me
off.
tell you one more
The gloves are off.
time. I got the blues. I got the blues. I got the wine head when somebody says someone is handsome and scary at the same time. Because if somebody's handsome, that means their face is inviting. You can walk up to them and they look attractive. You can see the kindness in their eyes. But if somebody's scary, it means you are repulsed. You've got to try to get away. So if somebody's handsome and scary, you're trapped in this kind of vortex of I want to go closer, but at the same time I want to try to go away from that person, which would explain the worn out patch of carpet in front of Tom's office right now. Blue.
Blind Stinky.
But I have never seen a person stand over a golf ball that long. In fact, I was thinking maybe he just forgets why he's standing over that golf ball. And I got to the Rockets bursting in there. Whatever. Thank you, Councilman. I appreciate it. It works really well, especially when you're in public. Okay? Tom, you know, I'm going to miss you professionally, but I will never miss you as a friend because we will always be friends.
Having said that, preparing to make these remarks this evening has been very easy. I just opened the files I had from Tom's 2 previous retirement receptions and made a few minor tweaks. We all know how humble Tom is, but Tom is But Tom, there is no one in this room that has had any greater impact on this community in the last 27 years than you. Thank you for all you've done for all of us. You're a good man.
I want to find out what makes you tick, because you're my hero. I want to grow up and I want to be a city manager as well. What's my path? What do I have to do, Tom? Learn to throw a football. What do I have to do to become city manager?
Five votes.
5 votes. This one is 5 votes. All right, let me ask you this. In all sincerity, you're retiring. You've given a great portion of your life to this amazing city. You've made it better. What is the one thing you really hang your hat on? You think, man, Tom nailed that one. What's the one that you're really going to look back with fond memory? Fumble! That's my fault, Tom. I hit you right in the hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce your mayor. Give a nice hand to Betsy Price. Here she comes.
Let's give these guys a great hand. Tom, you may not think so, but 4-day weekend is truly a treasure for Fort Worth, and you are a treasure for all of us too. So on behalf of all your council members, all my fellow council members, your 5 votes plus, how many more of us are there? 4? Most of the time you manage to have 9 votes. I will say that for Tom. Let me say one more thing about Tom. Have you got your computer yet? All of council, and most of you know, Tom will read your email, but he can't answer it. And when several of us were elected, he had a flip phone. And he came back and said, look, I got a smartphone. I said, how come? He said, you know those things you send me on the weekends? Those are called text messages. I can read them now. But he's never once answered a single one. But he never failed to come find us and tell us the answer. Tom, you are sincerely missed. We appreciate you helping David for a month after he came with us. And I know David appreciates it greatly, as does everybody else.
Thank you, Mayor. Tom, one of the best parts of my job is being able to honor great Texans. And on behalf of the state of Texas, we would like to present to you this resolution signed by all the Fort Worth representatives in honor of your service to not only the city, but to the state. And thank you very much. Now, I'm not going to read the whole resolution. In fact, after hearing some of these stories about you, it's too bad we're not in session so we can change some of the language. But be that as it may, congratulations, and thank you very much for your service.
Then the coveted thing that he's really waiting for, Public Works and Transportation sent you a City Hall 1 pass. And at the bottom, in little bitty letters, you'll note it says CM23. Now, I'm the 44th mayor. Mike, our numbers are not good. 23 city managers, 44 mayors. They stay a lot longer. But you get this pass for parking. So now you can park anywhere you want, and unlike the mayor's car, they might not give you the first ticket.
So we got you this bag. Now, looking at it, it's not all that big, but we've also found out you do not carry your bags. So we've got you a little something that you can carry that with. Now, if you'll notice, that bag will just clash a little bit with the blue on that card. Okay? Tom, from all of us, we love you, and we hope you the very best in your retirement, and we hope you can work off Sue's wish list as you get through this, okay?
Needless to say, this is overwhelming. Never expected something like this. Sue asked me, she said, what do you think is going to happen? I said, well, there are probably 25, 30 people come down, we'll eat oatmeal raisin cookies, and visit with each other. It is. And thank you for 50 years. It's a true story. I was playing hockey at the time. I was 19 and I just finished a tournament and had all my teeth knocked out in a fight. And as I mentioned earlier, I lost. And I was out with a bunch of guys on the weekend and we were at a drive-in and that's where I met her. They told her that, what did they tell you, that I didn't have an artificial leg or something? And she got in the car and she was trying to feel the leg to see if it was bloody. The rest is history. You know, looking back 27 and a half years, and Mayor, I'm going to make a little exception. David, where are you? David Cook? David?
He's over there.
In the time I've been here, there's been 5 mayors, 8 city managers. Tells you something about the shelf life of city managers. 18 city councils. There was no alliance. There was one downtown resident, one resident in the central business district who was illegal. He's right. He wasn't an illegal. He was illegally living in downtown. But it started something. Mr. Red Bass, who sponsored the jazz club that we all loved so much back then, and began that, and today we have, over 3,000 people living in downtown. Alliance is going crazy. Mike Berry was here earlier. I don't know if Mike is still here. He gave the first retirement speech for me when I retired. But Bill, Thornton, Mike, I remember when we get excited, we'd get a call and someone would say, Dairy Queen's coming to town and they're looking for a new location. And we'd be all over it back in those days. And look what's happened since that time with Alliance. You know, Bob Olin was fortunate enough to spend a lot of time with Bob. Truly, I think Mr. Fort Worth. We went up and met with a young businessman from Dallas, named Ross Perot Jr., and one of the big issues was water. And Mayor Bolin took a bold step and said, if you're going to do the things you're going to do, we will bring water to Alliance. And driving back, Mayor Bolin turned in the car and said, Tommy, and he referred to all of us in that way, do you think I'm crazy? I don't know, that'll be written in history. Well, was Bolin not only not crazy, what a great visionary he was. Working on the treasury plan, Bolin's story, actually had to kick me out of a meeting he was having with Catalina Villapando, who was the treasurer of the United States. When they came here, and we had won the bid for the treasury plan, we didn't have the money to finish the deal, and Catalina asked Bolin to come meet with me, he dragged me along. And I got in there and she turned to me and she said, would you excuse us, please? And we didn't have the money. And he committed to her that we'd get it. And so we spent the next 3 months with Bob Bolin personally going around to everybody. We got the money, and as you know, the rest is history. You know, I can honestly stand here and say, Bill, those that have worked with me over the years know this, that there's never been a single day in the city of Fort Worth that I've not looked forward to going to work. There were some days I wasn't real happy about the things we were facing, but I never ever didn't look forward to going to work. And the testimony of that is I thank the good Lord, but I was never late in 27 and a half years, never late a single day of work. And those of you that know me know that. Dale called me one morning in a snowstorm, and it was about 7 o'clock. He said, hey, what are the chances of getting a ride with you? And I said, Dale, I'm at City Hall. I need to come get you. And I'm not saying that because of anything special about me. It was just the desire to get down. Happy birthday, Tom Crompus. Appreciate you spending your birthday with us. I didn't see you there. Tom Crompus' birthday is today also. A few years older than I am, I guess. The other thing is, in all the years I've been there, I've never had a single sick day. So I've been very, very fortunate. Not something that I regret. You know, a few months ago when I talked to the mayor and said, Mayor, I think it's time. You know, we need to get some new blood in here. And people heard about that. People came up to me and said, you know what's so great about retiring? Now you're going to get to do what you want to do. And what I told them was, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm just going to have to go find something else to do. But today, working as a city manager of this city, I'm doing exactly what I want to do. Mayor, thanks to you and the council for providing me with an opportunity to serve in this very special position. What a wonderful way to end a 27-and-a-half-year career. To be the city manager of what I think is the finest city in this country with the brightest future. And the future is still ahead of us. And that's the thing I miss most, is not going to be able to be a part of all those wonderful things that are ahead of us and yet to occur in the city. Thanks again to everybody for being here tonight. I've had an opportunity to work with the most incredible people in the most incredible city in this country. And David, could you come up here, please? David Cook. I've had the opportunity to spend some time with David. We played golf together a couple of times. I tried to get him around and introduce him to some folks. And what I'd like to say is our city council did an outstanding job in selecting the next city manager. This guy's as good as it comes. We're in good hands. The city's future is real bright. And if you haven't had a chance to meet David, I would encourage all of you. I know there's a long line outside of his office to meet him. But City Council, 9-0 vote. You got it right. And waiting to do this was the right thing to do, because I feel I can now go relax and rest, and I'll watch council meeting twice now, and feel that the city is in great hands. So to everybody here tonight, thank you very much for making this such an incredible ride and for your great support and just giving me the opportunity to associate with so many incredibly wonderful folks. So again, thank you very much. And this is really the last retirement.